There's absolutely nothing in the historical record showing that as CO2 has risen, carbon dioxide, which what Governor Brown is blaming for all this ultimately, is causing worse fires. But we have unbelievable evidence that Governor Brown himself, by his political stance, has not helping the problem at all by, for instance, vetoing a bill passed unanimously by the California House and Senate, literally not a single dissenting vote, a bipartisan vote in 2016 to essentially manage the forests. Governor Brown turned that away. So this is not a climate drought. This is a mismanagement, development, forest policy, and overdevelopment, if you will, fire. You have a lot of wealthy homes in a lot of areas with a lot of thick trees and dead trees. There's estimated over 120 million dead trees in California that are acting as matchboxes for this fire. It is not a CO2 or climate change fire or drought.
Right. And that's what President Trump tweeted yesterday. I want to ask about something specific that Governor Brown said too. This is a quote from that video. He said, predictions by some scientists are we've already gone up 1 degree. I think we can expect another half a degree, which is catastrophic over the next 10 to 12 years. So we have a real challenge here threatening our whole way of life. What does the increase in temperature have to do with the likelihood of fire? What's the scientific correlation?
Well, what they're trying to say is the earth is getting hotter, drier, therefore everything's like waiting for a match to light it, and therefore this is a climate change fueled storm. The problem with that is, A, we've been warmer in the past, from a Roman warming, medieval warming, even the 1930s in the United States still hold the heat records for that. So it's not the heat. And also precipitation. The droughts are not historically bad. Again, they've had much worse droughts in previous years. Since 1895, no trend in precipitation. So what he does is a classic misdirection. Governor Brown does. When current reality fails to make your case, he scares everyone by saying the next 10 to 12 years. He's basically saying it's going to get a lot worse and we have the science to support it, when that's not the case. There's actually no evidence to support that. If anything, even according to studies in Nature, the United Nations, there's no trend in global droughts, which would be the single biggest climate contributor to these wildfires. But keep in mind, it's not the climate driving these. And in the United States Senate, they had a scientist testify that it's actually unscientific to claim that so-called man-made climate change is fueling these big fires. These are land use policies that are fueling them. It's not clearing out the old trees. It's having 120 million dead trees that you refuse to clear out for ideological reasons because you want to keep the forest untouched. California State Assemblyman Tom McClintock has actually called it the no-use policy. Instead of wise use or limited use of California lands, it's called the no-use, untouched, let all the trees alone, let the underbrush grow thicker and thicker, and let the development go basically unchecked without a decent policy, and you get overdevelopment, bad planning, bad forest management, and this is the kind of thing you end up with.